There is something weird about the human body. Put a human next to almost any other mammal, and one thing stands out immediately. We are strangely naked. Chimpanzees are covered in hair. Dogs have fur. Bears have fur. Even tiny rats have fur. But humans walk around with most of their skin exposed. That is a very strange design for an animal. Fur is useful. It keeps you warm. It protects your skin. It can help block sunlight. It can even make you look bigger and more intimidating. So if fur is so useful, why did humans lose so much of it? The answer seems to begin in Africa. Millions of years ago, our ancestors were not sitting in houses, under fans, scrolling on phones. They were moving through hot landscapes. They were walking long distance. They were scavenging. They were hunting. And they were doing it under a brutal sun. That created a problem. Mammals generate heat just by moving. The harder you move, the more heat your body produces. Now imagine doing that in thick fur, under African heat, 4 hours. At some point, your body becomes a trap. It keeps heat in when you desperately need heat to escape. And that may be where human skin started to change history. One of the biggest ideas is that humans became endurance specialists. Not the fastest animals. Not the strongest. But the animals that could keep going. Anthropologist Daniel Lieberman and biologist Dennis Bramble argued that humans evolved for long-distance running. Not sprinting. Endurance. The kind of movement that slowly cooks you if your body cannot cool itself. That is where sweat becomes important. Humans are weirdly good at sweating. In fact, compared with most mammals, we are almost ridiculous. Human skin is packed with eccrine sweat glands. When sweat evaporates, it pulls heat away from the body. It acts like built-in air conditioning. But there is a catch. Sweat works best when it can evaporate easily. A thick coat of fur gets in the way. It traps moisture. It slows cooling. So if early humans were surviving by moving for long periods in the heat, then less fur may have become a huge advantage. Less fur meant better cooling. Better cooling meant longer movement. Longer movement meant better hunting, better scavenging, and a better chance of survival. In other words, losing hair may have helped turn the human body into a distance machine. And there is evidence that our ancestors used that ability in a brutal way. Some researchers think humans practiced persistent hunting. That means chasing an animal, not with speed, but with time. You keep following it. You keep tracking it. You keep forcing it to run. Most animals overheat faster than humans do, especially if they are covered in fur and cannot dump heat efficiently. Eventually, the animal slows down. Not because it was weaker. Because it got hotter. Imagine how strange that strategy is. A nearly hairless ape, jogging under the sun, slowly turning heat itself into a weapon. But heat may not be the whole story. There is another theory, and it is much itchier. Parasite. Fur is a great home for lice, fleas, ticks, and other things that want to bite you, infect you, and live on you. If you are an animal covered in dense hair, parasites have places to hide. They have places to breed. They have places to stay attached. Now imagine early humans sleeping together, sharing shelters, carrying food, and living close to one another. Parasites could spread easily. And parasites are not just annoying. They can carry disease. They can weaken the body. They can kill. Biologist Mark Pagel and Walter Bodmer propose that hair loss may have helped reduce the burden of parasites. Less body hair could mean fewer hiding places. Fewer hiding places. Fewer hiding places could mean fewer infections. So the naked human body may not just be a cooling system. It may also be a pest control strategy. Then there is sexual selection. Sometimes evolution is not just about surviving. Sometimes it is about being chosen. Charles Darwin suggested that some traits spread because other humans found them attractive. If smoother skin signaled health, fewer parasites, or youth, then hair loss may have become more common because it was preferred. That does not mean one day humans suddenly decided fur was ugly. Evolution does not work like fashion. It works through tiny preferences repeated over absurd stretches of time. Generation after generation. Choice after choice. Body after body. And, slowly, a species can start to look different. But even if humans lost most of their visible fur, we did not become truly naked. That is the funny part. We still have hair. A lot of it, actually. It is just smaller, finer, and less obvious across much of the body. Humans are not hairless. We are more like stripped-down primates with a modified coat. And some hair stayed for good reasons. Hair on the head protects the scalp from solar radiation. Eyebrows help keep sweat out of the eyes.
Eyelashes help block dust and tiny particles. So evolution did not simply erase hair, it edited it. It kept what was useful, it reduced what was costly, and then humans added something new: culture. Once humans controlled fire, built shelters, and eventually wore clothing, some of the old protective value of fur mattered less. If your tribe can make shade, wrap animal skins around your body, and sleep near a fire, then thick body fur becomes less necessary than it once was. Culture started doing some of the work that biology used to do. That is one of the strangest things about being human. We do not just evolve through muscle and bone. We also evolve through tools, habits, and inventions. We change the environment around us, and then the environment changes what our bodies need. So why did humans lose their fur? Probably not for one single reason. It was likely a combination of heat, sweating, endurance, parasites, and changing human behavior. Evolution usually works like that: messy, layered, full of trade-offs. The human body is not a perfect machine. It is a record of old problems and desperate solutions. And your mostly bare skin may be one of the clearest examples. It is the mark of an animal that survived the sun by becoming easier to cool. It may also be the mark of an animal trying to escape disease, outrun prey, and reshape its own world. So the next time you look at your arm and wonder why a mammal has skin like this, remember what you are really looking at: not a missing coat, a survival strategy.